Hello my loves, I'm Ellie Frost, and on this channel we're talking about the multi-dimensional approach to rapidly and radically healing and transforming during and after narcissistic abuse. And this video is about when you call the narcissist out, right? Lots of people will say to you, never tell the narcissist that you know, yeah? And look, some of these people are very dangerous, and most narcissists will try and impact your life in often devastating ways. So there is wisdom in actually, knowing and not needing them to know you know. But when we're living in fear, the narcissist feeds off our negative emotions, right? My dog's playing with their squeaky toy. You can hear that in the background. Sorry about that, guys. But you don't want to give the narcissist all your fear because they feed off it in the psychic realm. But I want, I've called narcissists, 3 of them, and nothing bad. They're kind of proud of it. They kind of just hit their ego, like they kind of liked it actually in a weird way. But I'm not saying that. I mean, what's their reaction to that? Some of them like it. Some of them will punish you because of it. I'll get onto that. And some of them will just call you a narcissist right back. Right, but a lot of the time they don't want resolution, so they're not going to listen to all your points on why you think they're a narcissist, and often it's quite pointless to tell them, and especially if you're at risk, it's not worth it. But what to expect when you call them out? When you call them out on their behavior, when you call them out for being a narcissist, when you call them out for the horrible ways they're treating you, often they'll make excuses. Right, there'll be loads of excuses. They'll be the victim or the hero, never the villain, right? So they'll make excuses, like, or they'll completely gaslight you. They'll gaslight you into thinking that it didn't happen the way you saw it, or that it was justified in some way. And when they justify it in some way, they're bound to put the blame on you, right? Narcissists will blame you for your reaction to their terrible behavior rather than take accountability and responsibility for what caused you to react that way. So expect blame on you, that you're the reason they did it. Even if they're jealous, right, of, like, I don't know, someone you're talking to or something, you're making them jealous. You're the reason that they act out, yeah? And if they act out and you react to that in a certain way, they'll blame you for your reaction rather than take responsibility and accountability. So what do you expect? No responsibility or accountability from the narcissist, right? They won't take it. Don't expect validation. Don't expect them to validate how you feel, even though it's real, yeah? They don't validate you. Don't expect support. They will not support you, right? They will blame you. And they will often, because they've got a lot of contempt for their victims, insult you because of it. Yeah? Somehow it will lead to an insult. There's something wrong with you, not with them. That's how it will be. Expect cryptic messages. Narcissists are so renowned for this. A cryptic message means like a message where you don't really understand what they're getting at. It might look like it's got nothing to do with what you're talking about. This is part of their gaslighting. And expect to be punished. Narcissists keep score and hold a grudge. You may have caused the narcissist what's called a narcissistic injury. So just basically affected their ego, right? Just you being happy affects their ego if they're not the center of attention and you're focused on something else. Like, you could say something or really constructively wanting to work on something in the relationship, and they'll get insulted by it because in their minds, they're entitled to your energy and you becoming what they need you to be, right? So any feedback on them, they'll take as an insult, right? Even though you're trying to improve the relationship, and they will punish you in some way, right? They might cheat on you and justify it because you did. I've heard narcissists do this, right? Where they've cheated on their partner and it's like, well, she got this loan out without telling me, so I'm entitled to act the way I am. They'll use it as justification for their terrible behavior that is not justified, right? And they'll punish you. And it's very difficult when you're with a narcissist not to hurt their ego, because unless you're making them the center of attention and the center of the world, paying them a ton of compliments, boosting their ego all the time, they could just be insulted by that. If you're focused on yourself, yeah, oh, not them, that could insult their ego, so they could blame you. So in healthy relationships, what we want is resolution, right? We try and talk to each other, communicate and resolve problems, but a narcissist isn't interested in that. They're interested in you becoming what they want you to be, right? And shaping around them. being manipulated to fit into them. And they use all these tactics, the cryptic messages, the gaslighting, the blame, the shame, the guilting, the fearing you, in order to control you. So you have to get strong in your energy. I teach this in my program Sovereign. Do email me, ellie@elliefrost.com, to come into that. I'm giving away a free session with me, a 90-minute session worth $555 if you join Sovereign before the 1st of September. Then you'll get that offer. You can have the session after the 1st of September, but you need to join the program by then to take advantage of it. So they don't want resolution. They don't want closure. They want you traumatized and trauma bonded because you're easy to control, right? When you're living in fear, right, and you're giving off that fear to them, they're siphoning your energy in the psychic realm, but also you're very, very easy to control because you're very, very afraid, right? So I get people strong so they're not as afraid, so they can take action in their life in positive ways towards what they want, right? And they're not feeding the fear to the narcissist, because the fear, honestly, the narcissist lives off that. They really breed off that. They love that, right? Your fear, because when you're acting from fear, you're not acting from firm decisions in the direction of what you want. You're acting in damage limitation mode, which is important to some extent. I don't teach people not to mitigate, potential damage, but there's a way to do it that where you're strong in what you want and going for your outcome that's realistic and not feeding extra fear to the narcissist. And that the energy work I do really helps with that. So what can you do? 1, energy work, which I've got in my program. 2, boundaries. Now, a boundary is a deal breaker. So what would it look like in a situation with a narcissist to set boundaries? It's not like a theory of in the future, I'm not going to accept that. It's when they're doing something, talking to you in a certain way, you say, I am not going to participate in the conversation if you're yelling. I'm going to take a walk, right? Maybe we can talk about this later. Maybe it's a topic you don't want to discuss. I will not discuss this with you, and go silent. Yeah. The more you're short, sweet, to the point, authoritative in your voice, and not like negotiating, the better. Get comfortable with a narcissist with silences, because that actually unnerves them a bit, right? It's when we're trying to over-explain ourselves, which is where they want us, where we're trying to over-justify ourselves, it's where they want us, over-validate ourselves, right? We're really, really, really trying to get them to see our point of view. They don't want to see your point of view. They know they're wrong. Right? They want you traumatized, antagonized, frustrated, confused, all those things, because you're giving them enormous amounts of energy in the psychic realm. Right? And if you email me at ellie@elliefrost.com, I've got a PDF I made. It's completely free, and it's got communication tools and diffusing statements to deal with narcissists in particular. So that's completely free. Just send me an email, ellie@elliefrost.com, ELLIE, and just put in the message, I'd like the communications tools PDF, okay? So if you like this video, please like, subscribe and share. Lots of love, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.